Welcome back, Stoics. Let me ask you something real. Do you honestly know how to handle a woman who hurts you not by pretending? You are fine, not by chasing her and not by letting her shake your peace, but by staying calm, clear, and fully in control. Because yes, there is a way to deal with a woman who hurts you without losing your mind or your dignity. Most men break down or react emotionally, but a Stoic rises above the chaos and responds with strength, silence, discipline, and emotional mastery. And if you have ever felt confused, betrayed, or disrespected by a woman, then this video is exactly what you need, because by the time you finish watching, you won't just know a few tips. You will understand how to master yourself so deeply that you can handle any woman, even the one who hurt you, effortlessly and without ever losing your peace, your pride, or your power. Let's get into it. Stoics, there comes a moment in every man's life when he looks at the woman he trusted the most, and suddenly realizes she has the power to hurt him in ways nobody else can, and it hits him like a quiet storm. Not with thunder, not with warning, but with a slow breaking inside. The kind that doesn't make noise yet shakes your whole world, and you stand there, wondering how someone you cared for, someone you protected, someone you loved, could look you in the eyes and still walk away, knowing they left wounds that won't heal overnight. And, brother, that's where the real Stoic journey begins. Not in comfort, not in peace, but in that raw moment when your heart is screaming, but your mind has to stay steady. Because you're fighting an invisible war inside yourself, and you've got to decide who you're gonna be after the smoke clears, because pain from a woman you love hits different. It slices deeper, it triggers memories, insecurities, and old fears that you thought you buried long ago. Maybe she betrayed you, maybe she talked to someone behind your back, maybe she compared you to other men, maybe she walked away when you needed her most, maybe she laughed at your vulnerability, maybe she made you feel like your presence was optional, like your loyalty was disposable, like your effort was invisible. And the crazy part is, you still cared, you still hoped, you still tried to give her the benefit of the doubt. Because you're built to love deep, you're built to show up, you're built to stay loyal longer than most men ever would. But here's the Stoic truth. Nobody ever teaches us as men the woman who hurts you is not your enemy, she's your mirror. She reveals the parts of you that were left unprotected, she exposes the expectations that were never grounded in reality. She shines light on the attachments you tied your happiness to, and she forces you to confront whether your strength is real or just imagined, because the Stoics didn't just preach calmness, they preached clarity, they preached ownership, they preached the power of staying centered, even when the world pokes at your wounds. And, as crazy as it sounds, the woman who hurts you becomes one of your greatest teachers, not because the pain is noble, not because betrayal is wise, but because it shows you where your soul is still breakable, where your heart still clings, where your ego still demands validation. Marcus Aurelius once said that the obstacle becomes the way, and it hits different when the obstacle is somebody you loved, because now you're not fighting the outside world, you're fighting your own emotions, your own hopes, your own cravings for something that no longer exists, or maybe never did. You start replaying the moments you gave too much, the moments you ignored your intuition, the moments she withdrew and you tried to patch things up with more effort, more attention, more love, the moments she stopped appreciating and you responded by giving even more, hoping she'd notice, hoping she'd feel it, hoping she'd change, but she didn't. And that's where most men break, because you can handle disrespect from strangers, but disrespect from the woman you trusted feels like losing a war you never agreed to fight. But here's the twist, and this is where the Stoic path demands everything from you. The goal is not to hate her. The goal is not to chase her. The goal is not to prove your worth. The goal is not revenge. The goal is to reclaim yourself, to return to your center, to rise above emotional chaos and build a level of inner stability so powerful that no heartbreak, no betrayal, no disappointment can shake the foundation of who you are. Because the moment she hurt you, something inside you split into two parts, the wounded version of you and the awakened version of you. And if you're listening closely right now, you can feel which side is trying to step forward. One is begging for answers, begging for closure, begging for her to understand the pain she caused. The other is whispering, stand firm. Breathe, pull yourself back together, build peace inside your own chest, and let your actions reflect strength, not attachment. The wounded man reacts, the awakened man responds. The wounded man chases chaos, the awakened man protects his peace. The wounded man looks for validation, the awakened man recognizes his own worth without needing proof. Right now you might feel confused, angry, numb, or even betrayed, and that's normal because you're human. But how you handle that moment determines the man you become next. And that's why the Stoics taught one timeless lesson that every man needs burned into his soul: never give someone else control over your inner state, because the most painful truth is also the most freeing. You can't control her choices, but you can control your response. You can't control her actions, but you can control your boundaries. You can't control her intentions, but you can control your dignity. And brother, that's where your transformation begins. In that quiet space between pain and reaction, where you decide who leads. Your heart, your emotions, or your principal sire. Not here to suffer, you're here to grow. And this first part of your story isn't about revenge, it's about awakening. It's about understanding the self-emotional battlefield inside you, and learning that the pain she caused is not the end of your strength, it's the beginning of your clarity. And as you take your first steps away from the chaos, you'll notice something powerful. Your mind starts asking better questions. Not why did she hurt me, but why did I tolerate the pain? Not what does she think of me, but what do I think of myself? Not how do I win her back, but how do I win back the man I lost inside her shadow. This is the beginning of your comeback, the slow, steady rise of a man who refuses to crumble in the face of heartbreak, a man who walks the Stoic path not to avoid pain, but to transform it into wisdom. There comes a night after the hurt, when everything feels too quiet, the kind of quiet that makes your thoughts louder than they should be, and you're lying there staring at the ceiling, trying to piece together how everything changed so fast, and why the woman who once held your heart like it mattered suddenly treated it like something she could put down without warning. And that silence hits harder than the argument, harder than the disrespect, harder than the moment she walked away. Because now you're alone with the truth you didn't want to face, and the truth is brutal. She didn't just hurt you, she exposed you. She revealed how deeply you were invested, how much of yourself you poured into her, how much trust you gave without realizing she had already stopped giving back weeks before, months before. Maybe she had already checked out while you were still fighting like hell to keep the connection alive. And now that truth sits heavy in your chest like a weight you can't shake off. You start replaying scenes like a movie you never asked to watch. The small shifts, the red flags you didn't want to admit, the sudden distance in her voice, the way she stopped laughing the same way, the way she started hiding her phone like it carried secrets, the way she started telling you she was tired or busy or not in the mood, the way her eyes shifted when you asked if everything was all right, the way she said I'm fine, with that tone that every man knows is a signal something is already breaking. In the worst part, the betrayal doesn't always come from cheating. Sometimes it comes from indifference, from lack of effort, from emotional distance, from treating you like an option when you treated her like a priority. Sometimes betrayal is silence, sometimes it's absence, sometimes it's that cold shift when the woman who once reached for your hand now pulls hers away. Like you're a stranger she's trying not to touch. Hand as that realization hits you, a different kind of pain creeps in. Not the sting of what she did, but the sting of what you allowed. The moments you lowered your standards just to keep her close, the moments you ignored your intuition because you were scared of losing her, the moments you kept giving while she kept withdrawing, the moments you apologized just to stop a fight she started, the moments you begged for clarity when she knew exactly what she was doing. But listen closely, because this is where your story stops being just heartbreak and starts becoming transformation. The Stoics taught that pain is a teacher, and brother, she taught you a lesson you didn't even know you needed. She taught you that love without boundaries becomes self-destruction. She taught you that loyalty to the wrong person becomes a prison. She taught you that peace begins where attachment ends. She taught you that a woman can be beautiful and still be careless with your heart. She taught you that you can give someone everything and they can still choose someone else, or choose nothing at all. And yes, it hurts, damn. It hurts more than you want to admit, but beneath that pain, something new is forming, something sharper, something clearer, something grounded in self-respect and inner strength. Because heartbreak doesn't just break you, it rebuilds you, but only if you're brave enough to face it without drowning in it. And now we reach the turning point, the moment every man faces when he realizes he has two paths in front of him. Path one is the easy path, the emotional path, the desperate path, the path that leads you back to her hoping she fixed the wound she caused, even though she's the one who created it. Path one is chasing answers, chasing apologies, chasing hope in a place where hope already died. Path one is the path that steals your power, drains your dignity, and leaves you weaker every time you choose it. But path two is the Stoic path, the harder path, the stronger path, the path that forces you to sit in the pain without acting on it, to feel the heartbreak without letting it guide your decisions, to stay silent when your ego wants to scream, to step back when your heart wants to chase, to breathe when your emotions want to explode. Path two is the path where you take all the energy you wasted on her and you pour it back into yourself, and that's the moment your comeback begins. Because the Stoics taught that the only thing you truly own is your inner world, your choices, your responses, your discipline, your peace and right. Now that's exactly what you need to reclaim. Imagine this scene. It's late, she texts you something vague, something cold, something that feels like a leftover emotion you weren't meant to receive. Something like, "Hey, hope you're okay," or just checking in, or she hits you with the classic, "I didn't mean to hurt you," but she says it in a way that sounds rehearsed, like she's trying to ease her guilt, not your pain. And for the first time, you don't respond out of emotion, you respond out of clarity, you breathe. You see the situation for what it is, not what you wished it was, and you let the silence speak for you. That silence becomes your power, that silence becomes your boundary, that silence becomes the moment she realizes the man she expected to always be there has finally stepped back from the fire. And here's where the suspense rises, because when a man stops chasing, suddenly the whole dynamic shifts. Women expect emotional chaos from hurt men, yelling, begging, arguing, breaking down. But when you go quiet, when you pull your energy back, when you move calm and controlled and stoic, she starts feeling something she didn't expect. She feels the absence of your presence. She feels the weight of losing your effort, your attention, your loyalty, your energy, the things she once took for granted. Now hit her with a different force, because she finally notices the gap you left behind. But this part is important. You're not pulling back to make her chase. You're pulling back because you finally understand your worth. You finally understand that the man who keeps giving to someone who keeps hurting him isn't loyal. He's lost, and you refuse to stay lost any longer. And that's when something inside you shifts. The anger fades. The confusion clears, the pain quiets, and a different kind of feeling replaces it. A calm resolve. The type of strength that doesn't need to be loud. The type of confidence that comes from surviving a pain that could have broken you. The type of clarity that comes from finally seeing her not as the woman you hoped she was, but as the woman she actually is. And you start realizing something powerful. She didn't break you, she revealed you. She didn't destroy you, she awakened you. She didn't weaken you, she forced you to grow stronger than you ever imagined. She didn't take your value, she exposed the part of you that forgot it existed. Now you're entering the next stage, the moment when you no longer respond to the hurt with emotion but with awareness. The moment you stop asking why she did it and start asking what it teaches you. The moment your heart stops chasing and your mind steps forward as the leader of your life again. And brother, that's when the real healing begins. The part where you rebuild, not from desperation but from discipline, not from attachment but from alignment, not from fear but from wisdom. A moment comes in every man's during healing when the pain turns into something else. Not anger, not sadness, not numbness, but a cold clarity, a sharp awareness. Like the fog finally lifts and you see the whole story for what it really was. You see the lies you excused, you see the disrespect you tolerated, you see the moments you forced love when she had already stopped choosing you, and it hits you in a way that's almost peaceful, not because the truth is gentle, but because it's finally honest. And brother, that honesty opens a new chapter inside you. The chapter where your heart stops driving the car and your mind finally grabs the wheel. The chapter where emotions stop controlling you and you start controlling them. The chapter where the stoic inside you wakes up like he's been sleeping for years, and he says, enough, it's time to reclaim your power. But before the power comes the storm, because healing isn't a straight line, it's a battlefield. And part of you still wants closure, part of you still wants to understand, part of you still wants to hear her say she's sorry, part of you still wants to know why she chose to hurt you, why she pulled away, why she acted like you didn't matter. And those questions scream inside your chest like echoes, bouncing off empty walls. But the Stoics taught something brutal and true. The woman who hurt you cannot give you closure, because she is the wound, not the cure. And the moment you accept that something inside you shifts, the craving for closure dissolves. You stop needing answers, you stop needing apologies, you stop needing her to validate your pain, because you finally understand your healing is not her responsibility, it's yours. And then comes the turning point, the moment you wake up, look in the mirror and realize you're not the same man who was begging for effort, who was waiting for texts, who was trying to fix what she broke. You've changed. Your energy is different. Your eyes are different. Your posture, your presence, your silence even. Your breathing carries a different weight now, the kind of weight a woman feels even when you're not around. And here's where the Espanol suspense thickens, because while you're healing, while you're rebuilding, while you're becoming stronger than she ever expected, something starts happening on her side. The same woman who hurt you begins to sense the shift. She feels it like a vibration in the air, like something she can't quite name, but it pulls at her mind in the late hours when she's scrolling through messages she never answered, memories she didn't appreciate, choices she never thought she'd regret. Because women know when a man detaches, not the fake detachment, not the games, not the silent treatment used for attention, but real detachment, the kind that comes from acceptance, the kind that comes from self-respect, the kind that can't be reversed. And it scares her more than she admit, because now she realizes you weren't weak, you were loyal, you weren't clingy. You were committed, you weren't emotional, you were invested, and she didn't lose a boy. She lost a man who actually gave a damn. Dad realization hits her harder than she expected. She starts thinking about the moments you showed up for her. The times you listened when she felt alone, the times you reassured her, the times you protected her heart. Even when she wasn't protecting yours, she remembers the effort, the loyalty, the presence. The things she overlooked because she assumed you'd always be there, and for the first time she feels something she didn't expect to feel. She feels the weight of losing you, but here's the twist. You're not doing any of this to make her regret it. You're not healing to impress her, not leveling up to get her attention. You're doing it because your soul demanded it, because your spirit outgrew the pain, because your future required a man stronger than the version she broke, because the stoic inside you knows that heartbreak is not the ending of your story, it's the training ground for the man you're meant to be. Command. Now the emotional shift begins. You start noticing small changes inside yourself that feel almost supernatural. The songs that once triggered memories now just sound like songs. The places that once reminded you of her now feel like normal spaces. The photos once filled with emotion now look like faces you don't recognize anymore. The hurt that once swallowed your nights now just passes through you like wind instead of storms. And then one day, out of nowhere, you feel something powerful, something you thought you'd never feel again. Peace, not the fake peace where you pretend you're okay, not the temporary peace where the pain is just hiding. No, real peace, the kind that sits deep in your bones, the kind that makes you breathe easier, the kind that makes everything feel lighter, the kind that whispers you're finally free. But right when that peace arrives, life throws the most suspenseful moment of all, the test, the moment she comes back, because she will. And every man who has walked this path knows this truth. When a man heals, his energy changes, and when his energy changes, the world he walked away from tries to pull him back. Message you something soft, something nostalgic, something that pulls on your heart the way she used to. Maybe she says, "I've been thinking about you," or "I miss the way you made me feel," or "Can we talk?" or "I didn't realize what I had until I lost it." Or she might even pretend nothing happened and send something casual like, "Hey stranger," but you'll feel the real meaning underneath every word. She's not texting you because she suddenly became a better person. She's texting you because she can feel she no longer has access to you. And the moment you see her name pop up on your phone, everything in your body pauses for a second. Your stomach tightens, your chest pulls. Your past self flickers like a ghost trying to return, but then your new self, your stronger self, your stoic self, steps forward and says, "Breathe. Stay calm, don't slip back into the fire you walked away from." And here's the emotional climax. She doesn't realize that the man she left behind is not the man standing here. Now she's reaching for a version of you that doesn't exist anymore. And you look at the message not with longing, not with anger, not with pain, but with clarity, because you finally understand that wanting her wasn't the problem. Ignoring what she showed you wasn't. Now your reaction determines your destiny. This is the moment. The entire journey has been preparing you for the moment you choose whether to fall back into old wounds or rise into the man you've been building in the dark. This is the moment everything has been leading toward, the final crossroads. The quiet space where a man decides who he will be after the pain, after the betrayal, after the breakdown, after the lesson. And here you stand, a different man than the one who started this journey. A man who walked through fire without losing himself. A man who faced heartbreak without surrendering his soul. A man who learned that strength is not the absence of emotion, but the control of it. And now your phone lights up. Her name glows on the screen like a ghost from another life. And for a second, your heart remembers the past, the memories, the warmth, the way she once laughed, the way she once held you, the way you once believed she was the one. But then a deeper part of you steps forward, the part that survived the nights you cried, the part that endured the silence, the part that rebuilt the pieces she shattered, the part that learned how to stand alone without collapsing. You look at the message again, and this time there's no shake in your chest, no fear, no panic, no desperate hope, only stillness, a calm that comes from knowing your worth doesn't depend on who stays or who leaves. Your peace doesn't come from someone else's attention. Your identity isn't tied to someone who walked away. And in that moment, you understand the most powerful truth a man can ever learn. The woman who hurt you no longer has the power to shape youth. That's when you finally breathe deep and the decision becomes clear. You don't respond from emotion, you don't move from weakness, you don't bend your boundaries just because she suddenly realized your value. Now you respond from strength, or you don't respond at all, because the man you've become protects his energy like a sacred temple, and only those who value it deserve access. Maybe You send something simple, something grounded, something that carries your new strength, like "I hope you're well, take care." Or maybe you choose silence. The silence that once wounded you now becomes your armor, your boundary, your message, your power. Because sometimes silence is the highest form of closure. Sometimes silence is the final chapter. Sometimes silence is you saying without words, "I've outgrown this story on." The beautiful part, the part that hits deeper than any revenge, is that you don't respond to her. You don't stay silent to punish her. You do it because you finally respect yourself enough to walk away from what walked away from you. You do it because you understand value doesn't chase, value attracts you. Do it because you now know real love doesn't confuse you. Real love doesn't drain you. Real love doesn't make you question your worth. Real love doesn't treat you like an and as you step back from the past, something incredible happens. The world starts opening again, colors return, sounds feel deeper, even the air feels lighter, and you start noticing things you missed while drowning in the pain. Your goals, your drive, your ambition, your passions, your hunger for life, all return like flames roaring back to life inside you. And you realize the heartbreak didn't kill you, it carved you, it refined you, it recreated you into a man even stronger than before. You begin leveling up, not out of spite, but out of purpose. You start building the body you always wanted, the mindset you always needed, the discipline you always lacked, the boundaries you never had, the confidence that comes from losing everything yet still standing tall. And this time, your growth doesn't revolve around impressing anyone. Your growth is for you. Your transformation is for you. Your strength is for you, because the Stoic path has taught you something priceless. A man with control over himself is untouchable. And while you rise, life hits you with one final twist, the day you never expected, the day she sees the new you. Maybe she sees you in person, maybe she hears about you, maybe she sees a picture, maybe she feels the energy shift from miles away. But when she sees the man, you've become something in her breaks. Not because you hurt her, but because she finally understands what she lost. She realizes she didn't just lose a boyfriend, she lost a protector, a supporter, a best friend, a source of peace, a foundation she didn't appreciate when she had access to it. But brother, here's the part you need to remember. Her regret is not your responsibility. Her pain is not your problem. Her lessons are not yours to carry anymore. Because the man you've become isn't interested in reopening wounds. The man you've become doesn't chase ghosts. The man you've become doesn't return to the fire he escaped, because the man you've become knows he deserves a love that aligns with his heart, not one that threatens it. And that's when the final transformation locks into place. You no longer see her as the woman who hurt you. You see her as the woman who pushed you into the greatest evolution of your life. She becomes the lesson, not the destination. She becomes the chapter, not the story. She becomes the storm that forced you to build the strength you carry now. And with that realization, you finally feel what you've been searching for since the beginning: peace. Real, unshakable, stoic peace. The peace that comes from accepting the past, understanding the pain, forgiving yourself, and stepping into a future free from emotional chains. And now you walk with a different energy, a different aura, a different presence. The type of presence women notice, the type of presence men respect, the type of presence life rewards, because you are no longer a man controlled by emotion. You are a man guided by principle. You are no longer a man begging for love. You are a man who attracts it. You are no longer a man who loses himself. You are a man who walks his path with clarity, courage, and command. Before this journey ends, there is one final truth you must carry forward. The Stoics taught that no one can hurt you without your permission, and now you understand what that means. You protect your heart, not by closing it, but by choosing wisely. You protect your peace, not by isolating, but by valuing yourself enough to never stay where you are shrinking. You protect your future, not by fearing love, but by learning from the past, so when the next woman enters your life, you don't walk in with fear, you walk in with wisdom. You don't walk in with distrust, you walk in with discernment. You don't walk in with broken pieces, you walk in with a rebuilt foundation. Because the man who knows how to handle the woman who hurt him is the man who will never let himself be destroyed again. And now, as this story closes, breathe, let the pain go, let the lessons stay, let the strength remain, and step into the next chapter of your life with a calm, unshakable, stoic force. If this message touched your heart, opened your eyes, or helped you heal, drop your thoughts in the comments, because your voice might be the one that lifts another man out of his own storm. And if you felt that spark and you want more daily Stoic wisdom and life-changing mindsets, hit subscribe to Stoic Spark and tap that bell icon so you never miss another moment of growth. And if you're ready to keep leveling up your mindset, your relationships, and your inner strength, dive into the other videos on this channel and keep rising above every challenge. Your support helps this channel grow and gives us the drive to create more powerful Stoic wisdom. videos for you. Keep shining, keep rising, and keep becoming the strongest version of yourself.